Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Danilo Evangelista. Welcome to our special discussion this afternoon that I decided to do since we are expecting some pretty significant severe weather to occur this evening across portions of the south central and southeast United States. As hatched by the thumbnail you could see, decided to take this opportunity to come in and talk about something else besides hurricane season. So without further ado, let's get started. And what I mean by a significant outbreak that we're looking at today, I do mean that we could really be looking at something sizable because, first of all, just taking a look at this graphic map, we have a moderate risk that's in effect for portions of Arkansas, Mississippi, and Louisiana. I confused these two, Louisiana and Arkansas, kind of flipped them, and a little bit of portions of southwestern Tennessee as well, possibly looking at a moderate risk, and then there's an enhanced risk outside of that, and that encompasses an even larger area of where severe weather could be pretty significant this evening. And not only is the categorical chance for severe weather high, we have other areas too. All areas, tornado, wind, and hail, all of them are maxed out with potential chances for significant parameters to occur in each one of those areas. And we'll go over that. We'll go over all of them in just a bit, but starting off with the tornado risk, you could see up to 15% chance for tornadoes, and there's a hatched area of potential for significant, that's what the hatched means. If you look down here, it even says it, 10% or greater probability of EF2 to EF5 tornadoes within 25 miles of a point. So basically what this means, this hatched area, anywhere that we're in that area, has the higher than normal chance that we could be looking at significant tornadoes to occur this evening. So that's something to keep in mind, and there's also a 15% chance total for tornadoes to occur with this outbreak as a whole over portions of Mississippi, Louisiana, and Arkansas, roughly within the moderate range that we have in the categorical portion. There's also in the wind part, there's up to a 30% chance of high winds and a hatched area for significant winds as well. It says down here that it's a 10% chance or greater probability of wind gusts up to 65 knots, which in the hurricane world, if you know, is 75 miles per hour, and that is hurricane strength gusts we're looking at with some of these storms. So some of these storms could be really strong, really powerful, and potentially produce tornadoes as well, and hail too. That also is hatched out with potential for significant hail, roughly 2-inch or greater diameter hail within a 25-mile point. So all the areas, the bottom line with this situation, all of the areas, all the parameters with this severe weather outbreak are looking at potential for each one of them to have significant levels of each parameter. So this is definitely a significant outbreak beginning to develop. And look at the SPC really quickly, just kind of give some information from what they're thinking. They do say as of right now, scattered thunderstorms are ongoing right now along an effective frontal zone from the R-latex into central eastern Arkansas and northeastward into western Tennessee and eastern Kentucky. The latest thinking is that initial development and intensification of surface-based storms should occur across northeast and eastern Texas, and the possibility as far southeast as southeast Oklahoma and into western Arkansas in the vicinity of the front abating outflow and the surface low within the vicinity. And they do say the severe weather threat should expand and organize in an east-northeastward way as the surface cyclone steadily deepens and tracks northeast along the Bear Clinic zone, and this should occur through tonight. And then they say after some initial discrete thunderstorms, it will intensify. QLCS will evolve across Arkansas and spread toward the Tennessee Valley through the evening, and strengthening low-level winds and an enlarging hodograph should compensate for the northern gradient of the surface-based instability plume. So this general area is talking about intensification and strengthening of low-level winds, shear, which should allow for potentially to help aid in the instability with this storm. This is all factors. If you don't understand what I'm saying, basically this is all factors of severe weather coming together to potentially create intensifying storms this evening and then this QLCS will likely contain embedded supercells and mesovortex structures, and that will support tornadoes, including potential EF2s, and significant damaging wind swaths up to around 80 to 90 miles per hour. So looking at significant winds and potentially some strong thunderstorms this afternoon. And if we look at the weather.gov site, we can even see that there, tornado watch in effect for portions of Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, and even a little bit of southeastern Oklahoma. I would expect very likely that this will probably expand into Mississippi and eastern Louisiana and Arkansas, northeastern Louisiana, and southeastern Arkansas, and maybe including portions of Tennessee as soon as probably within the next few hours as this whole entire thing gets going. And how does it look right now on radar? We could see, as the SPC talked about, some scattered thunderstorms already occurring between portions of Texas. This is not the meat of the event, as I would like to say, yet. We're not in the thick of it, but we are starting to see some parts of this event beginning to develop. Some strong thunderstorms already occurring through far eastern Oklahoma that's now moving into western Arkansas, and of course development occurring just out of northeastern Texas right now, and there's some thunderstorms also associated with the line that goes as far as western Tennessee. So this is something that we're starting to see develop right now, should intensify into the evening. And the only thing that I could really suggest to all of you is have your radar ready, constantly check the weather.gov, because as I said before, not only with hurricane season, but when it comes to severe weather season as well, weather.gov is a really good source to check weather information right down to your neighborhood. They have regions, all of the weather.gov, they have small regions, and you can look specifically at those regions to see what the forecast area out of that is saying, and that's especially good because you could look at specifically what your region of your area is expecting instead of a generalized forecast from the SPC that encompasses over, an area of several states. And when you look at weather.gov, for instance, we'll go to northern Texas. They have this is out of their office of Shreveport, Louisiana, and you can notice the area that they're encompassing: portions of northwestern Louisiana, northeast Texas, and southern Arkansas. And they have all the information that you need. They have even an area for watches and warnings. I think some are here too. And they also have, look at this, they have this graphic here, goes over the timing, the overview for severe weather. So go over this, have your NOAA weather radio if you have one of that too, so you can get warnings at least when they're occurring right at the moment. So if you have a tornado warning in effect for your area, you could seek shelter right away and take action so you're prepared and not caught off guard in these situations, because believe me, it is not smart to be caught off guard, and keep your guard down, especially in an outbreak like this, which could potentially be significant. So where do we go from here? What is the timing from this point on out that we're looking at? What are we looking at going into the future? That's what we're going to review now with the NAM 3 kilometer model. We're not using the GFS because the GFS is a global model. The NAM 3 kilometer model is a mesoscale model, so that looks at more specific details specific to the US. So this is really good for severe weather outbreaks, and this is as of 13Z, so we're already past that, and right now it's 3 p.m., so it's roughly 15Z right now. That is 3 p.m. Eastern time. You see a low pressure system developing into eastern Texas, and where you see thunderstorms beginning to develop over the line, not necessarily compact yet. And then as we do see here very prominently, look at this southerly flow coming from the Gulf of Mexico. This is going to help aid in the thunderstorms that could potentially form tonight. This is going to help bring a source of instability to these storms, and as this low pressure advances to the northeast, this will kind of flow into portions of Louisiana and the south, and this is what's going to help aid those thunder showers really getting strong. 21Z, this is 9 p.m. Eastern time into, kind of what happened here, where were we? So like right here, but you get the general idea. Strong thunderstorms really intensifying into 8 or 9 o'clock Eastern time, 10 o'clock a well bona fide line developing over Arkansas, and that roughly moves in as over the next few hours. This is 0Z Saturday, so this is roughly uh, 8 p.m. I think, something like that. 8 p.m. That's actually that is 8 o'clock. Before 2021Z, this was 4 or 5 o'clock Eastern time. So very soon we're gonna start seeing thunderstorms. These storms really begin to beef up, and then moving into Arkansas and moving east into Tennessee and Mississippi. This is roughly 3Z tonight. So this is, I would say, so this is 8 p.m., 9 p.m., 10 p.m., 11 p.m., and this is roughly midnight Eastern time. We have the line advancing northeastward and over portions of Mississippi and Tennessee, where you can see a very bona fide line and potentially some very strong thunderstorms developing out of this, with the potential for significant weather as well. Then it moves eastward and still going. This is 7Z, so this is roughly overnight. I would assume 2, 3 in the morning Eastern time, 1, 2 in the morning Central time. Still very strong line, a bona fide line moving through portions of central Tennessee, and I believe that's Kentucky as well. So the threat extends for there, even though it kind of maxes out over this section over here. It does extend further east. So Mississippi, Arkansas, Louisiana, and Western Tennessee, not the only places that could potentially get severe weather out of this outbreak. And then that moves on east, and then by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning Eastern time, it does clear out for the general section of Louisiana and this general region that we're looking at, where we could see the peak of the severe weather season to occur. And if you remember very much that I talked about a lot of how the very warm Gulf of Mexico, which you can see right now, is playing into a factor. I've talked about it. Not only does a warm Gulf of Mexico and warmer temperatures closer to home mean that could fuel hurricane season and stronger hurricanes, especially coming closer to the United States, but also shorter term severe weather season. So keep that in mind. It is only March and we have a very warm Gulf of Mexico, and I always talk about how the atmosphere is kind of, or the oceans I should say, kind of act as an indicator of how the atmosphere is. And warmer water, warmer ocean temperatures means more moisture, more instability most of the time in the atmosphere, more energy that is available. And it is only March 23rd. We're not even into April and May yet. So watch this very closely, and this could potentially mean this is not going to be the only severe weather outbreak we'll have this year. For sure, definitely not. There's a lot more moisture, I'd imagine, in the Gulf that could potentially fuel more outbreaks to come this severe weather season. So don't let your guard down. And of course, when it comes to this outbreak specifically, keep a watchful eye on the skies, as they always say. Have your weather radar ready, and have your eye out on whenever a tornado warning comes for your area. Be sure to take shelter and watch what's going on. You don't want to get caught off guard with these situations. It really does not end well. Watch the skies, and of course keep updates to weather.gov. You could find information once again at some of these websites. You can go to weather.gov for the website for if you want to go towards what's going on in your local area. Weather.gov, that is the weather site for weather in your local area. And then for the severe weather as a whole, if you want to get a general outlook of the severe weather, you go to spc.noaa.gov for the severe weather outlook for a generalized regional area, if you will. That's at least if you want to look at that. So those are two websites that you could use to watch what's going on tonight. And of course, if you have a NOAA weather radio, you can use that as well. All very helpful tools to watch to help you keep an eye on what's going on tonight with the severe weather. But that is it that I have from me. And if there's anything else that does occur, I will produce another update later this evening. If I can, I will get a little bit more busy later this evening, so this might be the only update from me. But of course, if anything else interesting does happen, I will watch the skies as well here. You can keep in tune to me. I'll try to watch this too. And if you have any concerns or questions about what's going on within your specific area, I'll try to search it up, and you could message me in the comments. Ask me any concerns that you have. I'll try to get it back as soon as I can. Certainly have the comments open, and you can also get feedback from other people as well. But that is it for me. Stay safe. Of course, that does not mean that our outlook and discussion for tomorrow will not happen. We'll still do that tomorrow. So see you then for hurricane discussion. And as for tonight, stay safe and have a great night. And till tomorrow, see you.